Hello everyone, my name is Cheng Luo. I'm the technical bada evangelist from Samsung UK. And this afternoon I have a lot of contents about the server-side features. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you already got some rest and not too tired. So the first one is about the social and location features on bada. Okay, got some problems remote. Okay, here is it. So I got some simple agenda today. First, I will introduce the map and location features on bada, and follow on with the adding more social functions to this location and map-based application. So I will introduce a little bit what is the map control. You heard a little bit in the morning session from my colleague John Chang about how to use in the Google Map. And this afternoon, I will give you another option how we can use the map in bada. And we have a class namespace called Map Provider, gave you a lot of location-based service. And also the remote landmark store is the server-side features. And then on the social side, we have a body management and the social network gateway. So let's start from the map. So if you think of this, you want to have an application display a map. And then you want to have some landmarks and overlay on the map. And then when you click the landmarks, you get some detailed information of this landmark. And it's a very simple 3-step application, how we can do it in bada. So we think you need something to do this kind of application. You need to display a map, then you need a map control. That's the map control in bada for you to display a map. And you need to get your current location. The location provider will do the job for you. And then for more like storage in the landmarks to the remote side, and you need to have a database and remote landmark store both on the device and remote side. And so that's the element you have to learn and to start this kind of application. And there are some prerequisites for your development. So of course, you got some header files you need to include, and some libraries you have to link with your compiler. And for the privilege group, it's quite simple. There are 3 related privilege groups for this location-based application. And the privilege level is quite low, so you got 2 normal level, means you don't need to require be any membership or to be just a bada developer can do it. And for the remote side, the remote landmark store, you need a system level privilege group. That means you have to become a Samsung partner. And some information when you compiling your code and you're running from the simulator and you see some error, say E privilege denied, that's pretty much you forgot to include these privilege groups into your manifest file. So beware if you see these errors and you probably forgot this information in your manifest file. So let's start from the map control, how you can use the map control. The step 0 we say, before you start doing the map, because some bada is using Jakarta as a default map provider at the moment. So you have to get to yourself a client name and the password from the developer side on the Jakarta. And here's the link. You can register as a Jakarta developer and get yourself a valid client name and password. And now let's go to the code. So the step 1, once you register on the developer.jakarta.com site and you get yourself a client name and the password, and then you can just put on this string file and the string object. And that's the information you need to connect to the Jakarta server. And then step 2 is you have to create a map provider. That's the object you need to connect with the bada server. So the way to get the object is quite simple. You use a static cast and to find a provider Jakarta as a provider's name, and then using the type of service as map service, and then you put this extra information containing your username and password and also the URL as extra information, and then you get yourself a valid object. And then the step 3 is you construct the map which you want to display on your map control. So it's all, again, the 2-phase construction. Make sure it's not have any memory leak. And the size, how large of the map you want displayed, and used by the constructor. And then step 4 is you gave a central point to display the map. So you don't only randomly display the map. You always assign a central point for the map to be displayed. And then you enable the panels and to display it. So this is the very simple 4 steps, and then you will get yourself a map displayed in the bada. Some extra information related with your testing job. So if you found when you launch the application, this map is not displayed, very possibly because you are located in the proxy environment and you forgot to set the proxy for the simulator. And this is the way you can set the proxy for the simulator. You launch the proxy as a standalone, and then go to the setting menu and get the connectivity options and choose network, connection bada, and then you can type the proxy address for your simulator, and then it will connect to the Jakarta server to download the right map data. So now you have your map. Then you want to have some landmark information, location information. So the second step, you need to have a location provider. It's very similar to the previous steps. So first, you need to get yourself a pointer, a valid object pointer to the location provider type, and then using two-phase construction. And then you assign a listener class, because the listener class is the one you get the confirmation or replies from the server. And it's always the own function as a callback function. And once you've done that, you can, like I said, on the own function, own location updated. It's the callback function when your location changed, and this one will be automatically invoked. And then you can get the qualified qualified coordinates from your device. And as you can see here, we're currently using GPS as the method to obtain the current location. You also can use Wi-Fi, and you can use both as a hybrid method. So that's for your information to construct this provider. And then you learn how you can connect to the server and display a map and get a location provider. So the third step, you want to retrieve the information from the remote landmark store, how we can do that in bada. And the landmark store actually is just a location with a name. And it also contains some other information like description. So what is this place for? Whether it's a museum or it's a shopping center or car park. And then you have the coordination information for this landmark. And then some more information you also can configure. So overall, those information is called landmarks in bada. And landmarks can be stored in the local on the device, also remotely on the server side. And there's a database provided for you to store those information. And landmarks can also be shared among the bada users. And that's, I will talk a little bit more on the social features. So before you're accessing the bada server, you need to have a valid bada account. And then you have to using the app control called sign-in app control to log in the bada account. Then it will allow you to access the bada server. So that's the first step you always need it for your application development. And for your information, the app control is a mechanism, as you heard in the mornings, to call the native apps in bada. So sign-in control is one of them. There are also some other type called calendars and dialers, and also the media browser. So the code here is the code for the sign-in process. So simply, you're trying to find the application control by passing a name. So this time, we're using the sign-in control. Then once you get this pointer, and then you can use the start method from this class. And then, of course, you also want to give a listener class, and which will catch the result, whether it's successfully signed in or not. And that's the simple code for the sign-in process. Once this is done, then you can access the server. And to create a landmarks, again, you can just simply call the landmarks constructor and using the set qualified coordinates, which you will get from the location provider. And then you also set the name for these landmarks, and then give a description for these landmarks. And all this initializing down, and then you can call the add landmarks to the remote side. And then you pass the landmark value and give some request ID. That's the information for the server. So this is 2 simple steps. You can add the landmark to the remote landmark store.